we have used the L word with each other. So we feel really passionately about each other, and that's what's so good is that I feel like I don't just have chemistry with this woman, but I also have I feel really compatible with her, and I really
Wow.
feel that she also feels equally compatible with me. So I feel as much as it is like a dating, the training that I've had with Ruby, is dating coaching. In a way, I also feel like I've worked with a relationship coach on the other hand, because I was able to learn, what I really like in a woman and personally, and I was able to meet someone who um, pretty much a person I could only dream about actually.
Right.
I just can't believe that this person exists, and this is such a great reality now.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I mean, I do this with all my clients. I love it when clients share with me their journey, their stories, and especially their photos. And you two look so cute.
Look, in reality, the type of value that's behind that, it's all of Ruby's time. It's the amount of time and education and work experiences that all combine together to create this well-oiled machine, I call it. And it certainly worked for me. I definitely was the type of client that needed this sort of thing. If you feel great about yourself, if you feel like you were proactive in trying to take care of an area of your life that you feel like you struggled so much.
Oh my gosh, what a way to wrap it up. It's like you have your own speech. I was like, preach, as if I don't know any of this.
Happy to do it, Ruby.
No, I really appreciate your time in doing this and everything that you've shared. It really walks me through actually your own experience because I think you tell me these things, but obviously we don't talk like this, right? Where I'm really diving in. All right. Hi, guys. Here I am with another exciting story to share with you all with one of my clients here. His name is Darren. Hi, Darren. How are you?
Hi, Ruby. I'm doing well.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm really excited about this one and for you guys to hear kind of where he is now and his progress. It was such a joy to work with him. And when I kept seeing him grow and where he is now, I am so excited for you all to hear it. And hopefully it will give you hope in this dating journey. So, with that said, let's just hop right in. So, Darren, tell everyone a little bit about who you are, kind of where you started and where you are now.
Absolutely. So my name is Darren. I am 31 years old, living in Boston. I'm a professional double bass player, so I play classical music, and I make a living doing a combination of teaching private lessons, group lessons, and playing for many of the local symphony orchestras in town.
Nice, very nice. And what, in a quick summary, because we're going to dive into this in a bit, but what was your dating experience right before me, obviously, and then working with me, but where you are now?
Before meeting with Ruby, I feel like most of the time I was sort of just improvising my way through dating. I didn't have a lot of confidence with it. A lot of issues with dating and confidence stemming all the way back to high school. And I was always worried about being seen as creepy and facing rejection. And certain insecurities with moving to a more prestigious kind of college environment. I was always worried that I didn't make enough money. I didn't really fit in with living in Boston. I was always worried that I didn't have the personality traits that a lot of other guys around here have, who might have an easier time attracting women.
Right, right. Awesome. Okay. So with all of that, where are you now? How are you now with dating?
Oh, night and day, Ruby. Night and day. I met a wonderful woman. We met on Hinge. We did online dating. I was on it since we started together in December,
Mm.
and I ended with Ruby this middle of January. And less than a month later, I met a wonderful person. We share so many similar values. We have used the L word with each other. So we feel really passionately about each other, and that's what's so good is that I feel like I don't just have chemistry with this woman, but I feel really compatible with her. And I really
Ah,
feel that she also feels equally compatible with me. So I feel as much as the training that I've had with Ruby, is dating coaching, in a way, I also feel like I've worked with a relationship coach on the other hand, because I was able to learn, what I really like in a woman and personally. And I was able to meet pretty much someone, a person I could only dream about, actually. Uh,
right.
I just can't believe that this person exists. And this is such a great reality now.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I mean, I do this with all my clients. I love it when clients share with me their journey and their stories, and especially their photos. And you two look so cute together and obviously very happy together. And I think, like you said, the biggest thing that I feel I can't grasp is that girl you dream about, right? That ultimate compatibility where you actually really enjoy each other and it's easy and it flows. So I'm so excited that you found that, because I know in the beginning you wondered if that was possible, and now here you are. So kind of going back here, you did talk about what you were worried about previously, and obviously probably coming into the experience and starting to work with me, all the kind of obstacles you were facing, what makes dating harder for you. But what do you think during our time? What do you think was the biggest obstacle you've overcome, or what knowledge you feel like you really gained, that you realize, wow, that's what changed the course for you.
Oh, I can definitely talk about this. So the bit there were so many different components to your coaching that really helped me out. Specifically, when we did the Google Sheets at the beginning, and really honing in on the different subjects. So like trying to understand myself,
Mm,
my personality, uh, being able to identify what my attractive traits are based on lots of life experiences that I've shared,
mm,
and uh, really just starting out the entire coaching in that sort of positive, and felt like it was a revelation for me in a way to kind of discover more, because we don't really introspect all the time, and that whole portion at the beginning with the Google Sheets gave me a very generous amount of time to really introspect, take a step back, and say to myself, okay, so I have like these different negative beliefs that I've had in the past. But thinking about it in a different way, I'm able to now meet other people
mm.
who can appreciate some of my interests and my attractive qualities.
Yeah.
That was one thing. And then after that, building the profile and going through that and learning what that entails. And Ruby was able to share all her knowledge on that. And I think that building the profile in the manner in which she guided me really helped to understand how to, and then the results showed for itself. Once I built the profile, I realized that I was matching with more women, way more women than in the past. I mean, I used to match with women a few times a week, but when we built the profile the way that Ruby had, shared with me just some of her knowledge, she's of course, worked with eHarmony in the past, although she tends to prefer Hinge and Coffee Meets Bagel, I think, recently. And so when we were building those profiles, once we finished that, I started actually swiping. Uh, I almost couldn't keep up on certain days. I know Ruby remembers this. I couldn't keep up on certain days with how many matches I was getting, and we
Mhm.
didn't even have to go out and take like extremely professional photos or something like that. It was right within my own phone gallery. Of course, I'm sure it varies like, from client to client, but just the fact that it was more about the actual formatting and stuff and stuff like that. Some things like that, I'm sure these apps pay attention to, and the fact that Ruby knows so much about the various apps and what they're looking for, I think definitely plays a huge role in this. And then, of course, finally, the biggest one of all. The back and forth texting, being able to share the being able to share screenshots of some of my chats with the women I was communicating with. And the most important thing to know is that you really, Ruby's so good. You can share practically, any of your discussions that you've been having with the women. Sometimes I'm sure for Ruby, it gets a little bit overwhelming. I sent quite a number of, screenshots and questions, but just always know that even with the amounts of questions that you send, Ruby always is pretty good with communicating with her clients. And letting me know when she needs extra data to answer it. But once she finally gets around, she always answers everything. And when she does, part of the reason why I think that Ruby does things at the pace that she does is she really wants to think through the responses. Like, she doesn't want to just give you a friend's response, and that's where, so this is where I think a big amount of the value comes from with Ruby, is that she doesn't just give you a friend's advice, she's giving you professional advice. And she really sets that relationship up from the very beginning when you first meet her. And you particularly get to see just how knowledgeable Ruby is about and how much she's dedicated herself to this, all particularly through when you're sending her those questions and sending her those screenshots.
Oh, well, I mean, those points, I feel so flattered. For one, you really thought this through, and you've seen all the details and everything that helps. So I really appreciate you going through all of that. And like I said, I was taken aback. I was like, whoa, thank you for saying all that. And the two things I want to add is, and you noticed this too, I think with online dating, one of the things that I really appreciated that you said was about, the matches that you were getting, because you were getting matches beforehand. But this time around, you realized the ladies were more connected with you. They were more compatible with you. They were good people. You went on some dates. I don't remember too many awful ones, unless I'm missing some. And then eventually, you found the most compatible for you. So I think that's really, that was great to see. And that's what I always tell clients. Like, I'm here to find you quality, not necessarily quantity, right? So that's why we build a profile the way we did. But secondly, I love that you mentioned I respond when I do. I don't think someone has actually talked about that in a video before. Because I tell everybody I only respond when I'm 100% present, when I'm 100% there, when I really read everything and think things through. But also, I don't know if you notice this as a client, but it also forces you to practice patience, right? And not needing, like, Ruby's not answering me. It's like, I need her to answer me. Like, it makes you kind of think, okay, it'll be fine. I ask the question, she will answer. And then that way you're kind of soothing yourself through the process as well. Have you ever felt like that in that way, and practicing that?
I admit there were definitely those moments for sure.
Awesome. So now I know you already talked about where you are and being in this relationship, but can you go into anything else about how you're feeling right now, especially because you talked about, understanding yourself and how you had these negative beliefs before. How are you feeling about yourself now, but also just being in a relationship, how you feel, kind of the feelings in this?
The biggest thing that right now, I feel ecstatic. I mean, the biggest thing for me is that, like, compared from before Ruby, I feel comparatively now I'm able to, like Ruby said, I'm able to exhibit more patience. So before I even met my girlfriend, when I was in the dating, when I was still using the apps, in between when I ended with Ruby until now, one of the biggest things is that as you're messaging people, I think, or as we're messaging people, we oftentimes rush too quickly, I think, into we're always anxious to set that date up, anxious to to escalate things as quickly as possible, without realizing that everyone has their own pace. And sometimes it's just a matter of appreciating the current conversation that you're having with one particular match. Maybe she doesn't respond back. You realize that people have a life and they're going to be involved with different things, especially like for someone my age. I'm 31 now. And so, I'm busy with my own things, but we sometimes forget that other people are busy too. They have, a professional life. They have, family issues, just like, I mean, I think my family's wonderful, but what is a family without issues? Everyone has things that come up. But we forget that people are people. And yes, sometimes they're going to like another guy and someone's going to be more suitable for them. But I realized that that people can be really nice and they can be even a very high quality person, but not everyone's going to be compatible with you. And the person that I happen to be in a relationship now is compatible, and it takes time to meet a person like that.
Right, right. Amazing. Well, I'm really glad that you feel, seems like all the feelings right now are just excitement, but also at peace with kind of everything. You feel like you're good. I remember at the end of our time, you definitely felt so much better about yourself, right? Your own
Definitely.
situation. Yeah, who you are, what you have to offer. So all those insecurities were there in the beginning, but now you feel really solid in it.
Yeah, it's not even that I'm in a relationship now. Even before the relationship, in between the time I ended with Ruby and now, I just felt that my relationship with women in general improved. And
Ah,
so um, this part almost makes me a little bit emotional, but
mhm.
um, I think that some guys who are listening to this, they're going to relate. But sometimes we don't actually have a positive female role model in our lives.
Um,
And so, when we go and we have all these bad dating experiences, and, particularly when I say female role model, I mean someone that's around our own age, not like our parents or grandparents, but someone that's around our own age, of whom, we have a lot of respect for. I think that for some of us, and I feel that some guys out there will relate to this, but many of us have never had a positive relationship with women similar in our age. And even though Ruby and I were, of course, a professional to client relationship through the coaching and everything, I feel like Ruby was a role model to me. Being able to learn what it's like to have a healthy and positive relationship with a woman for the first time, whether it's dating, friendship, etc. Because in the past, I just always used to feel this tension when I'd interact with other women, because I feel like deep down, I was really frustrated with them. But Ruby helped to really talk about some of these negative beliefs that I formed through all these bad experiences in the past in my dating life.
yeah.
And it helped me to focus on new and better qualities in a woman that I never considered in the past.
Yeah.
So this helped me to really appreciate the current person that I'm dating.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that she and I are so open to talk about everything and share everything, and feel so much more freeing that way than the way I've ever experienced dating in the past. To have that open communication, and that Ruby really encourages that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I think this is why as well. People have always questioned me and wondered how can a female dating coach help, right? But I think it is that. Not many, you're absolutely right. Not many of my clients maybe have that kind of relationship with a woman or even spoken, right? To many ladies potentially. So to start off even with just us, it helps in that. So I'm really glad it did. And it definitely makes a difference and opens the opportunities up for you to meet your girlfriend now. So switching gears here, many people are usually too scared to get help on such a vulnerable topic. I mean, it can feel shameful. Can you speak to that, and what would you say to them?
Yeah, as a private teacher myself, when students have trouble learning the instrument, they, rather than struggling with it themselves, I mean, they could try to teach themselves. They can try to improvise their way, try to, discover how to best play the instrument. But reaching out to a private instructor, someone who's been in the field for, you know, since well, of course I've done my schooling and everything like that, but yeah, because of my schooling, because of my knowledge, because of the different orchestras I've played and stuff like that, um, I consider myself qualified to speak and to help my students improve in learning the instrument. But for dating, why can't we have that same kind of mentality? And that's what got me to really consider Ruby as a coach, is that here I have the opportunity. I have something that I'm struggling with, right? So dating and overcoming this issue with my dating life, uh, it was a big quality of life thing for me. And I decided to be proactive about it. And when I saw that Ruby was a dating coach, that she ran this all remotely, and that she had also she had majored in marriage and family therapy, I think, in the past as well. So she had the credentials with that. She also she worked for eHarmony. And then she also had all the testimonials from her clients and just watching all her YouTube videos. All of that, I felt, and when I was even watching the YouTube videos, I can tell that Ruby just, that this was a very passionate thing for her. She had very insightful knowledge, even through just the YouTube videos alone. But at that point where I decided to go ahead with dating coaching, well, I had just switched out. I left a job that was non-musical related, and so now I'm doing 100% music. I'm doing basically what I wanted to always professionally, and the way I wanted to treat myself is to. I said, you know what? I'm in a new chapter of my life, and this is like, now that everything's working out for me professionally, and like I have other areas that are working out for me. Why not tackle this Achilles heel that's been in my life all up until this point? And if I just even just signing up with Ruby, that initial step was such a freeing moment for me to be able to acknowledge and say, yes, I'm finally getting help for this. It's been way overdue.
Oh yeah, you're like, the moment you said yesterday, I love it, because I remember, I think that day, or even our first call, you were that excited. You're like, I'm finally doing something. It's almost like, I think work, and I think we're both people actually really enjoy what we do. I know not everyone can say that about their careers, but when you have that piece of the puzzle, right, just kind of filled in with your career, and then you looked and realized, oh, there's still this piece here that's missing, right? But what are you gonna do? And so I think, especially because we're coaches and teachers, we recognize that, like, if we want something, sometimes it's helpful to have someone who knows what they're doing. So you're not just kind of flailing around trying to figure it out anymore, you know? So I love that. And it really showed kind of the reasons why you decided to say yes to this investment in the first place. Because we all know it's not a light investment either. You know, you do have to be serious and saying this yes and wanting this to happen for you. So with that, you've obviously been through the program. People obviously probably want to be where you're at right now, happily in a relationship, and feeling good about yourself. What do you think one needs? What do you think a guy needs to be successful in this, and like you, in during my program, you know, to date successfully?
I feel that if you want to succeed with Ruby's program, you have to be introspective. You have to be open to new ways about thinking about things. And you have to be open to occasionally accepting some tough love on occasion, because sometimes there are moments where you hold on to certain beliefs for a long time. And when Ruby tries to, it's like, wait, but you also have to think about it in this other way. And two, you have to see it from this lady's perspective, what you're saying here. Or it's one of those things that, like, hold on, I think you're overthinking this. And why don't you just ask her directly? Or things like that. Or I think it's in those moments we can often be like, whoa, like, hold on, like, how dare you say that about me? That's that kind of, because it's these beliefs that we've held on to for a long time. And it takes sometimes a day, and it takes I know Ruby and I, there's this one particular call that I remember. And it wasn't even a call. It was I had written a whole thing about a particular moment
Mhm.
with one of my dates, and I had to deal with like something I felt like insecure about.
Mhm.
And Ruby had come back with a 4-minute audio message for me, just kind of breaking it down, like, hold on one sec, rein it in. Uh, you know, you have to and it's those moments. Yeah, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but don't worry. Yeah. So even though the advice might not be what you want to hear in that moment, the next day you're going to wake up and you're going to consider what Ruby's saying. And you're going to know that she has your best interests in mind, and she really wants you to succeed. And not only does she want you to succeed, I feel like she's really looking for you to have a really healthy relationship, not just succeed in dating. Like Ruby always says, it's not about winning women. She always says that. Like, it's not about going out and feeling like it's a game and you have to win people. It's more about expressing who you are, sharing how passionate you are about your interests, really honing in on always about the what. Ruby always talks about the why, like why you're interested in certain things. Why do you do the things that you do? Why do you value the things that you do? And when you share those things like with other people, I've learned you some people may not like it. There are other people who will accept it, and those are the people you'll end up feeling closer to, and you may see more potential in a relationship with. So no, I've learned to really trust her process. Sometimes there'll be moments that are uncomfortable. If you have the ability to realize that Ruby wants you in a positive, healthy relationship, and not just getting out there and picking up people every day, that will really help you to succeed, I think, with this.
Right. Oh, I love that. And I love that you saw that in me. I think I try my best to make it very clear in the beginning that anything that I do, like the tough love that you shared, because it's true, I do. But the intent is always to help, right? And not just help, like you said, oh, get more women. It's not about that. It's just to help you in general in your overall life and how you feel about life and yourself on a daily basis, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and I would like to think, even though I can give tough love, I'm not mean about it, right? I'm never mean. I don't think I'm ever like mean, but I will push you. Right. So ah, I love that. I mean, you obviously know the process, so you know kind of what it takes.
Three
Um,
words: firm, professional, respectful,
oh,
and friendly too.
wow. Oh, yeah.
The moments that counts.
All right. So, I mean, in wrapping this up, the last thing I wanted to ask you is normally at this point, especially of this call, if anyone is still listening, it's because they are interested and wondering if they should invest in me and date coaching. So, is there anything you want to say to those who are still iffy, or any last words at all for this call?
If you're watching this video and if you've been following Ruby, if you've been watching her videos, if you've been even doing like uh, her Facebook group as well, and if you feel like you've been really frustrated with your dating experiences up until this point, it's been consistently frustrating. Uh, if you become really jaded about online dating, like even I have, I know that for almost most of us, I'd say, who have engaged in online dating, it can be a really frustrating experience. Uh, if you feel that your relationship also with women around our age has been more or less negative and you'd like to see a more positive relationship with women, I highly recommend going ahead with Ruby.
Mhm.
If you The biggest thing is that what you can expect if you go ahead with Ruby, as long as you follow her modules, if you take the time to be introspective during those moments, if you send all the different questions and the chats, the screenshots that you have when you are using the apps eventually, if you send those and all your related questions, and Ruby has been more than generous with her knowledge and with the time that she's spent in the field. And even I think even for me, it initially, of course, it goes without saying, it was definitely a sticker shock at first. I was like, what? Dating coaching is this much? What? But no, in reality, look, in reality, the type of value that's behind that, it's all of Ruby's time. It's the amount of time and education and work experiences that all combine together to create this well-oiled machine, I call it. And it certainly worked for me. I definitely was the type of client that needed this sort of thing. If after doing a program like this, if you feel great about yourself, if you feel like you were proactive in trying to take care of an area of your life that you feel like you struggled so much in, and you feel so positive after that, and you even had success after that. I'm not saying everyone's going to find someone within a month like I did, but I definitely feel that the stuff that I learned with Ruby and all of those mindset changes through working with her have been so impactful that going forward, I'm going to become, I'm really, really grateful to her. That's all I'll say. I hope that everyone in the that's listening to this, who's considering Ruby, definitely consider this. I know for me, when I did that introduction call to inquiring about Ruby's program, she explained how the process would work and everything like that. And for me, like, what really sold me in that moment, I was just like, I want to be proactive, and you can't put a price tag on something that is like going to be a future relationship, or is going to be just an enormous positive character change for yourself.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a way to wrap it up. It's like you have your own speech. I was like, preach, as if I don't know any of this.
Happy to do it, Ruby.
No, I really appreciate your time in doing this and everything that you've shared. It really walks me through actually your own experience, because I think you tell me these things, but obviously we don't talk like this, right? Where I'm really diving in with how you've felt during all of it. And as Darren said, guys, all it is taking that chance to hop on that free introduction call. That's really it. And that doesn't even necessarily mean you have to take this on, or that because I think I say this to all clients, like, I always want to make sure on those calls we're a good fit, right? That's really important. So that we get along, that I know and I feel that I can help you. But Darren, you've been so great during our program together. You were always eager to learn. You were always open-minded and stayed open-minded. You listened through the discomfort at times. You really kept up with the assignments. And yes, you sent a lot of screenshots, but I've always said, right, I'd want you to do that rather than not keeping me in the loop, because I wouldn't know how to help, right? So thank you so much for sharing everything that you did. Guys, I hope that really inspired you to just take action. And if it's not with me, just take action in your dating and love life. It could be a great change for you. Thank you so much, Darren, for sharing, for taking the time today. I wish you the best with your own life, but also with your girlfriend as well. And I know we'll still continue to stay connected, but but thank you so much again. And thank you guys for listening and watching. And until next time.
Thank you, Ruby.